Yes guys, welcome back to Hair System DIY. Today I wanted to talk to you about why a hair transplant would be a waste of time for me. So let's jump into this together. So guys, today we are talking hair transplants, and I'm going to explain why it's not suitable for me, why it'd never work for me, and why it would just be a waste of time and a waste of money for me. You might pick up some little snippets along the way that'd be like, oh, that's a red flag for me. That a hair transplant probably wouldn't work well for me either. This is not a pro or against hair transplants. This is not some crazy propaganda video which is like, get a hair system, it's your only solution. It's not going to be like that. But I have some genuinely valid reasons as to why a hair transplant wouldn't work for me. I'm going to explain that right now in this video. Before I get going, if you would like to subscribe, if you're enjoying my content, if you're new to my channel, you don't have to subscribe, but you do get notified whenever I do make new content. The more subscribers we get, the more likes we get, the more these kind of videos reach people in that YouTube algorithm. I'm going to try and get 50 likes on this video as well, guys, so please smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. So for anyone who's been following my journey, you will be well aware that I suffer from a condition called Trichotillomania. It's a real mouthful, isn't it? I actually have to break it down into syllables just so that I get it right. Trichotillomania. It's a crazy name for a diagnosis. I tend to use the word trick because it's just easier to say, and people within the Trichotillomania community generally refer to it as trick because it avoids them from getting tongue-tied. So from the age of 2, I've had this really bad hair pulling condition. Hair systems actually really helped me stop pulling hair out from the top of my head. That's what it is. It's just a hair pulling condition. It's related to stress mainly and anxiety. When you're stressed, when you're anxious, you start pulling out your hair. I think you're getting the gist here, guys, as to why a hair transplant wouldn't work for me. The big first reason is that basically, if you're having hair implanted into your head, and then you pull it out again due to this condition, it really makes a hair transplant a complete waste of time, a complete waste of money. And that's why, if anyone came to me and they said, I've got Trick 2 or I've got any sort of condition like that, I'd say a hair transplant is not the best idea for you, because any of that hair which is implanted into your balding spots, you're just going to pull out anyway. So it's a massive waste of money when you think about it. A second thing as well is when you get a hair transplant, you generally have to have good donor hair. So if you're not familiar with how a hair transplant works, they basically take hair from hair that's still growing on your scalp, so usually from the back and from the sides as well. They take those out and they implant them into bits where you have hair loss, and then the hair just sort of grows naturally from there. You do have to have quite thick donor hair for this to be a procedure that looks good, a procedure where you have a thick head of hair. Bearing in mind I'm 34 years old, so you'd need some fairly dense hair, because if you get some thin hair where the hair transplant is, it's going to look quite wispy. It's not going to look that great. If you're from the UK, you'll know who Wayne Rooney is. That's what I'm kind of talking about. A really poor a really poor transplant where he's basically lost all of the hair that was transplanted onto the top of his head. It just looks a bit silly. And he looks really old now. I'm going to pop an image up actually on the screen to show you what he looks like now. And it's not a great look. Bear in mind this guy's only 37 and he's had about 3 transplants. So yeah, you need a good thick head of hair after a transplant. And with my donor hair, as you can see on the sides, it's really quite thin. So it wouldn't transfer well onto the top of my head, and it just wouldn't look, I wouldn't have a great end product. Thirdly, when it comes to transplants, you usually need a good wad of cash at your disposal that you can basically pay for this procedure to be done. You can have it, for instance, I'm in the UK, you can have it in the UK. A lot of people are going to Turkey, primarily because it is cheaper over in Turkey, and they're actually getting quite good at it. I'll be honest, guys, they are getting quite good at transplants over there, but it's still a little bit hit and miss. Okay, so you're not getting a guaranteed top end product. Now, when you're paying for that as well, you're usually going to have a couple of grand in your bank account so that you can pay for this procedure. I haven't got a couple of grand in my bank account right now. I wish I did, but I don't. So, again, even if I was suitable for a hair transplant, with the money involved that you're having to pay in a lump sum, it just wouldn't work. I don't have the money there. Obviously, I wear systems, and with systems, you can sort of pay for them once every 3 or 4 months. You don't have to have a massive wad of cash. Yes, systems aren't cheap. Yes, you need a bit of money for them, but you can pay as you go, and it's a much better, more manageable way of, making these payments for me. Now, after watching this, if you're like me and you really feel that a hair transplant wouldn't be the best option for you, and you're maybe considering a hair system, the one that I'm wearing right now is from Levivid. They're offering a 15% discount, which you can avail from. Check it in my coupon code. Check it in my coupon code. Check it in the description box below. They're a great manufacturer. They ship really, really quickly, and they've got a really wide variety of systems at their disposal, which they sell. I've done plenty of videos on them as well, so you can check the rest of my library. Also, if you want to learn more about why a hair transplant isn't suitable for me, there is another video which is going to be popping up on the screen right now, and it's basically explaining why my hair is so short on the sides. It's a really interesting watch. I've got a lot of engagements off of it, so please do jump on that video now if you are so interested. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I'll speak to you very soon.